Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are going to deconstruct a really unique daily forecast from May 1st, 2026. Now, this isn't just your typical stars and signs rundown. Oh, no. It's this fascinating blend of cosmic energy and actual spiritual practices. We're going to dive in and see exactly how it's put together to offer guidance for the day.
So let's start with the hook. Right at the very beginning, the forecast makes this huge promise. And this sentence, it's incredibly powerful, right? It's not just predicting a mood. It's speaking directly to these really deep human desires we all have. Progress, comfort, and that hope for a big breakthrough. It immediately grabs you and frames the day not as something that just happens to you, but as a real opportunity that you can actively shape. Okay, so how does it actually build on a promise that big? Well, it doesn't just pull it out of thin air. It tries to establish some credibility by grounding everything in two key celestial influences for that specific day. Juma, which is Friday, and a particular star constellation. These two things become the foundational pillars for all the advice that's about to come. And this is where things get really interesting, because we see the forecast break down these two very different energies. Over on the left, you've got the vibe of the day itself, Friday, which is linked to the planet Venus. So that brings in themes of beauty, luxury, and money. But then on the right, you have a much more specific astrological piece, the Swati Nakshatra. And this is framed as the independent star, carrying a completely different energy, one of sharpness, progress, and adaptability. So the forecast is basically telling us, hey, these two very different forces are working together today. From there, the forecast zooms in on this so-called independent star. It doesn't just throw the name out there. It actually takes a moment to explain its symbolic meaning, which is pretty crucial if you're going to understand the kind of energy it's supposed to bring to your day. And you can really see the poetic imagery at the heart of the source material here. It's not just some abstract point in the sky. The symbol, a young plant swaying in the wind, that immediately gives you a feeling of resilience, right? Of flexibility. But then it's paired with a meaning sword, which suggests this flexibility isn't about being passive. No, it's about having that sharp decisiveness you need to cut through your problems and actually make some progress. So after setting that big energetic stage, the forecast shifts gears. It moves from the macro, these big overarching energies, down to the micro. It starts translating all of that into specific personalized advice for each of the 12 zodiac signs. You know, laying it all out like this gives us a fantastic bird's eye view. You can actually see how those general themes we just talked about get sprinkled around. Like, notice how that Venus energy, wealth and comfort, shows up for signs like Cancer with property deals and for Virgo with a growing bank balance. And then you can see that proactive breakthrough energy from the Swati Nakshatra reflected in the predictions for Capricorn's career or Leo's successful projects. It's like a complete map of guidance, and it touches on almost every major area of life. But here's the thing, the forecast doesn't just stop with personalized advice. In its final and maybe its most interesting move, it zooms back out. It offers a single, unifying ritual that anyone can do, no matter what their zodiac sign is. It's presented as this universal tool that you can use to harness the day's positive energy. And this is the really crucial shift from passive prediction to active participation. The ritual, which is called a wazifa, gives you a clear step-by-step procedure. It involves specific recitations, like the Durud Sharif, that's a prayer of blessing, and Ya Lateefu, Ya Wadudu, which are phrases calling on God's kindness and love. And the goal is spelled right out, to attract good things, specifically more wealth, and turning any bad blood with people into friendship. It basically empowers you, the listener, giving you a concrete task you can do to align yourself with the day's promised blessings. Okay, so let's just step back for a second and think about what the architecture of this forecast really shows us. I mean, think about the journey we just took. We went from a broad planetary theme to a specific concept from Vedic astrology, then through 12 personalized zodiac predictions, and we landed on a prescribed Islamic spiritual ritual. That's a pretty remarkable synthesis of different belief systems, all in one place. Ultimately, breaking this all down reveals something pretty fascinating. It shows how traditions that seem really distinct, like astrology and faith, or prediction and practice, can be woven together to create a single, compelling guide for your day. And it leaves us with a question that really gets you thinking. Is this blend of cosmic insight and personal ritual just a reflection of our deep, universal need not just to understand our destiny, but to feel like we have a hand in shaping it?